Hey y'all, this is Marley K. Hope y'all are well. I got something that I stumbled across because I just happen to be doing I'm trying to keep an eye on whether or not they declare a national climate emergency. And so I heard Papa say the other day that he's all but done it, declared a national climate emergency. And so, I've been trying to find the executive order and, you know, um, make sure it hasn't happened. But what I found was some weird crap. Y'all know I always be finding stuff. So I found a letter from 2020 before Papa took office from a group called, I guess it's a group called biologicaldiversity.org. You go to the website, it's just really weird because a lot of these sites popped up in 2010, 2015, around the time when they start planning the agenda to prep for what happened in 2020. And so what we're experiencing now is like the second, almost third phase of their plan so that they can achieve their 2030 goals and objectives. But listen to this letter. Now, I found this on the internet. I will put a link to it in the description. But what's alarming is that the first thing they wanted him to do was declare a national emergency, climate emergency. And then they have all these things that he should do. And the things that he should do, he's already done. He just didn't declare the national emergency. So it's like he did the plan first. What they told him to do first, he did last. And the things that they told him to do afterwards, he's already done. So I'm going to show it to you. So you can basically see that we're already in the throes of a national climate emergency based on their plan, but it just hasn't officially been called. So when everything is said and done and he officially announces it, all the pieces will be in place. So I don't think I have no tinfoil hat on, because you can go to the White House's website and look at all the announcements and executive orders, and you'll see where there's an executive order pretty much for everything that he's noted that this organization noted in their letter. What's also interesting is it is signed by 380 organizations, and I'm going to show you the end of it so that you will see the organizations. It's a bunch of weird organizations that I never heard of before, and some you have, but it's just weird, and it ties into this national Sunday law, day of rest thing, this agenda that they have going, that the Pope is actually trying to do, and it's also tied to the UN Sustainable Development Goals agenda. So it's just really interesting, but let me get into it. So you see it's dated December 16th, and let me close this, see if I can blow it up so y'all can see. All right, so it says here, executive order to avert the climate emergency. So it says there's an executive order to avert the climate emergency, but the first thing you're going to do is declare a national climate emergency. So it says, Dear President-elect Papa, congratulations on winning the presidential election, and thank you for your slate of promised executive actions to address the climate crisis, including phasing out fossil fuel production. This is why you can't drive no gas cars in 2026. This is why they're pushing this green agenda. You got to have EV this, EV that, solar this, solar that, wind power, etc., etc. Protecting workers and communities and building back better to a fossil fuel free, clean, renewable energy economy. Build back better. Y'all remember his bill? the Build Back Better legislation. They had all that stuff in there for the broadband, wireless technology, funding for the police. It had a lot of stuff in it. I actually wrote about it on Medium, and it also had a crime bill embedded in it. So it was wild. Anyway, toward the end, the undersigned organizations, on behalf of our 380 organizations representing millions of members and supporters, urge you to issue the following executive order to avert the climate emergency by using existing federal laws to initiate a managed phase out of fossil fuel production and invest in a just, clean, distributed, and democratic energy system that works for all. There it is. Common good works for all. So imagine having the audacity to tell the President of the United States to issue the executive order and tell him how to do it. Who does that? Who does that? Can y'all imagine Negroes be like, issue this executive order for reparations? And the Black Delegation of America, Descendants of Slaves, FBA B1, say, do this. I, I can't even imagine. So it just tripped me out. Anyway, here it is. It says, Executive Order on Averting the Climate Emergency. By the authority vested in me as the President of the Constitution and the laws of the United States of America, it is hereby ordered as follows. Section 1. Declaration of a National Climate Emergency. I, Papa, President of the United States, find the climate crisis caused by primarily by fossil fuels, poses an existential threat to every aspect of society. Warming temperatures are already causing more than destructive wildfires, what we're going through now. Stronger hurricanes, what they saying causing that stuff over there in Maui. Worsening droughts, floods, everywhere is flooding right now. China, you name it. Coastal erosion, they've been talking about that, haven't they? From rising seas, the spread of disease, pestilences and plagues, and all the things that we've been going through, to destabilizing food and water security. Haven't they been tearing up the food supply chain for the last 3 years, killing off the cows and chickens and stuff? Blaming avian flu and this all kinds of diseases, and unraveling natural ecosystems, destroying the stuff by trains with chemicals missing from trains, and polluting the soil with contaminants and y'all following me? All right. The climate crisis already is killing people across the nation. It sure is. It sure is. Ain't it? It's killing people. It's killing us slowly, but they're killing us. And it's costing the U.S. economy billions in damages every year, intentionally. Yes. The harms from fossil fuel extraction and climate disruption are not felt equally, but instead fall first on and worst on Black. They always dragging us into stuff. We don't got nothing to do with this. We don't got nothing to do with this. But here they go, dragging us into the chat. We are, everything always impacts the Blacks, the Browns, the Indigenous, and other communities of color, as well as low wealth and frontline communities. Who made this stuff up? The overwhelming scientific consensus has definitively concluded. Who is these people? that without deep and rapid emissions reductions, warming will exceed 1.5 degrees Celsius. And there's that 1.5 degrees, they keep talking about that. It's like, what are they talking about? And will result in catastrophic damage around the world. Every fraction of additional warming above 1.5 degrees Celsius will worsen the harms, threatening lives, health and safety, and livelihoods. Let me go back. The environment, economy, and national security for this and future generations. Global emissions must be reduced by half over the next decade to limit warming to below 1.5 degrees Celsius. Accordingly, it is in the national interest of the United States, based on our cumulative emissions and respective capabilities, to lead the way by reducing greenhouse gas emissions by at least 70% by when? 2030. Now, this was in 2020. And to near zero by 2040. We're going to be gone by then. But anyway, that's what they say. We must transform our extractive economy to a regenerative and inclusive one in a manner that dismantles systemic racism and advances environmental, racial, and economic justice. Now we go from talking about it's hot and the world gonna be gone to systemic racism advances environmental, racial, and economic justice. So this is the rub. Anytime they talk about racism, they stick everything in with racism. Anything they want to pass, talk about racism, because they know that's a problem they ain't never really going to address. Therefore, by the power vested in me by the Constitution and the laws of the United States, I hereby, including sections 201 and 301 of the National Emergencies Act, I hereby declare that climate change is a national emergency, and that these sections noted are hereby invoked and made available for the relevant actions below. So I don't know if this was declared, but I know the things that come after this have been done. So they have a Clean Air Act. They've been working on clean air. They have ending the approval of new fossil fuel infrastructure projects. They have been doing that. They have been doing moratoriums for fracking. They have, I don't know if they ban oil and gas exports and addressing fossil fuels. I don't know if they ban exports. They were doing something, sending oil someplace to Europe. All crude oil exports shall be prohibited for 1 year. I don't know if they did that. I know that they did the driving the 100% clean energy transition with green manufacturing, federal procurement, and distributed generation, whatever that means. So it says that they're going to have clean energy by 2025, making sure that 25% of at least 25% for distributed and community solar. The Tennessee Valley Authority and all Power Marketing Administration shall submit plans in the same time frame to do something with their energy efficiency technologies. I know they did the thing about the cars where, here it is about the them transitioning and buying a bunch of electric cars and government cars, but also putting those kill switches in the cars. rural electrification, they put that law out where I think in 2026 all cars have to be electric. They can't produce any more gas powered cars. Shifting financial flows from fossil fuels to climate solutions. So again, they want us to not use cars that have gas. So they're going to be pushing that. Advancing climate justice. They've been talking about that a lot. And I'm like, what does that even mean? What is it? They're going to give us reparations for putting us on dirty lands and putting us in apartments with lead paint on the walls and all the other crap they've done? No, they're not. Rejoining the Paris Agreement and reestablishing global leadership on climate. He did that. And then these general provisions, I didn't really have a chance to go through that. But most of this stuff I know he's done, and they've been tucked away in a lot of the bills that he's passed over the last 3 years. So if you read this and you go to congress.gov, or you go to the White House press release site when they release these new bills that they put out and they make these public statements, you'll be able to see what they've done. You can just type in keywords from each of those little sections and you'll be able to pull it up. But I just found it amazing that he's done so much of this stuff already, which makes me wonder if he's already declared a national climate emergency but didn't announce it, like he did it through an executive order, and maybe we missed it. So I don't know. But anyway, look at this list of names. So these are the partners, the 360 or 80 agencies that this organization was talking about. Just a lot of these things I'd never heard of. NC Warren, National Organizations, Action Center on Race and the Economy, never heard of it. Alliance for Climate Education, Catholic Network, of course they're in it. Climate Positive Consulting, Climate Mama, Coalition Against Nukes, Climate Defense Project, Eco Action Committee for the Green Party of the U.S., Eco Socialist Working Group of the Democratic Socialists of America, Fire Drill Fridays, Franciscan Action Network, sound real popish to me, Frank Sand Centennial Project Outreach, Feminist of Speech, Glen Canyon Institute, Green Vest, Greenpeace, Green the Church, Green America, Hands Across the Sand, In the Shadow of the Wolf, Jews of the Earth, La Placa and Associates, LLC, Movement for a People's Party, National Family Farm Coalition, Mothers Out Front, Nuclear Information and Resource Service for a nuclear-free, carbon-free world. Partnership for Policy Integrity. Y'all see where I'm going? Like, you ain't never heard of these organizations before. People's Action, People's Justice Council, Partnership for Working Families. I've heard of them. Physicians for Social Responsibility. Raptors Are the Solution. Roots Action, Sisters of Charity Federation. That's Catholic. Seeding Sovereignty. Save Wolves Now Network. Sister of St. Francis of Philadelphia. Solidarity InfoSource. It's just Sunrise Movement. That's interesting. Sustain Us. The Unitarian Universalist Association. That right there was a big flag for me. Unitarian Universalist Ministry for Earth. There you go, your one world stuff. The John Muir Project. International organizations. 100 Grannies for a Livable Future. What? Eco Eating with the World. Ecopoetry.org. Really? Earthday.org. Green Farm. I'm sorry, Genesis Farm. Atheism, Ecological Judaism. Interesting, huh? Global Warming Education Network. Global Witness. International Marine Mammal Project on Earth Island Institute. Lady Freethinker. Now, these are international organizations that you've never heard of. Let There Be Light International. Pacific Environment. Patagonia. Plastic Pollution Coalition. Save the Frogs. Sisters of St. Joseph, Rochester, New York. Southwest Native Cultures. Rewilding Institute. Time Laboratory. Turtle Island Restoration Network. Wild Nature Institute. United Confederation of Taino People. Regional and state organizations. 350 Butt County, 350 Chicago. I want to see what 350 Chicago is. What is this? Some of these I just typed in. If you go look at these organizations, it's like, what? What is this? Where does stuff come from? So let's see. .350 Chicago. The climate crisis and mental health. They're going to put climate with everything. How psychology can help with climate anxiety, grief, and despair. Oh, they just really, I tell you what, white people. Oof. 350 Chicago Monthly Climate Speaker Series presents a Bob Inglis webinar. In the era of fossil fuels. Let's see. About. No, I didn't mean to do that. I meant to do about 350 Chicago. I don't want to. So you go to the About page, there's like nothing there. They don't tell you nothing. That's how you know it's a bunch of doo-doo. Just a bunch of doo-doo. Don't have nothing on here about money. Let me see. Campaigns. Get involved. Let me see. Let's look at these allies. Who are your allies? Blacks and green. They love to be dragging some black people into some stuff. You hear what I say? Y'all black people better stay away from these folks. But y'all know we don't even have to be with them. They just drag us. They love cleaving unto us. Okay, so I'm going to the global site. This is the last thing I'm going to do. I just want to do this. I didn't do this before, but some of the names on the list I just kind of typed in. Some people didn't have any online presence, but some of them did, and they were really weird. We're an international movement of ordinary people working to end the age of fossil fuels and build a world of community-centered renewable energy for all. We are calling for a deeper transition, one which places energy justice at the beating heart of its values. We are moving forward into the world, and we want to see leaving no one behind. And we are doing this with the urgency the climate crisis demands of us. So they've been planning this stuff a long time. I'm trying to be careful not cuss because it's right on the tip of my mouth. So let's see. They got this stuff on every continent. Africa, Asia, Australia, Canada, France, Germany, Indonesia, Japan, Latin America, Turkey, the UK, the US, Philippines. Let's see. About nothing. Latest, nothing. Real secret squirrel. Really, really, really secret squirrel. Can't hardly get no information. It's always not a good sign. Oh, let's go. Our funders. Let me see. Oh my God, you just gotta go through all this. So they don't want to tell you nothing. I want to know. Let me look at your little annual report then. See how they make it difficult for you to find out where the money comes from. Always go when you go into these sites. Always look for the money. Look for annual reports. Look for where the money comes from. Follow the money, especially when these organizations just be popping up and you be like, never heard of this before. Or and it just seems like a cluster of nonsense foolery. A lot of times it just be shell companies because that's how these demons play. You ain't never heard of none of these people. Oh, now I got to download the report. Oh my word. 30 pages. It's not going to make it easy, that's for sure. Okay, let me continue on till I get to the money part. Look at that, got some black people. Black people everywhere, making a fool out of folks. Where the money at? Where is the money? Here it is. See how they hide everything right at the end. Okay. I gotta try to make this bigger. So apparently they don't want you to be great. Bloomberg Philanthropies. Charles Stewart Mott Foundation. Forward Foundation, European Climate Foundation, Global Alliance for Green and Gender Action. They got a bunch of mess. Oh, wait a minute, I must have missed some stuff. Oh, it's not gonna let me do There we go. I'm missing stuff. Yep. Netflix. Schmidt Family Foundation. Rockefeller Brothers Fund. Rockefeller Family Associates. Open Society Foundations. That's George Soros. New York Energy Works. Oxfam. The Tides Foundation. Oh, yes. So I can tell you right now, if the Tides Foundation is on there, it is nothing but a shell game. Well, I found out everything I need to know. This some swanky. I'm surprised I didn't see them computer guy who knows all things name on this list, but they have so many other little ways that they create other organizations and then fund, put money here, put money there. That's what the Tide Foundation is. I actually did a piece on them because they had something to do with uh, the National Black Lives Matter and something else. I can't even remember, but it was so convoluted. It had something to do with Macy's, and they were giving away grants to the LGBTQ community through that black organization in DC, which found out it was a lobbying organization, and they fund a lot of political campaigns. So um, when you start looking for money, and you've been doing this as long as I have, and you see certain organizations, you already know what time it is. So I can tell you without a shadow of a doubt, this some boo boo. Just say that. So anyway, I wanted to share with you this letter. Again, I will post it in the description. I recommend you go through this list and look at these um, organizations because there may be some in your state, especially the local and regional ones. Um, it's just some weird stuff on this list. It's a lot of organizations. Like I said, it's 380. And when I was going through the list, I was like, who are these people? It's a lot of churches. Um, it's not good. So all these people are co-signing this National Climate Emergency Declaration. You have to ask yourself, why? How did they form? When were they meeting? What's taking place? How did they know to contact Papa in December and give him the exact language, told him exactly what to do? So anyway, y'all, I found this. I wanted to share it with y'all. I did share it with Pastor O from State Line SDA, who does the Sunday Law Update. I don't know, they have their own research people or whatever, but I wanted to share it with you all because I don't want anybody to be caught off guard when they declare this national climate emergency. I think they're going to do something, especially with what's going on in Hawaii, even though I don't think, they've never told us how this fire started. They say wildfires, but I don't bit more believe wildfires had nothing to do with nothing. So just make sure you are prepping. Be prepared for anything because we don't know what these people have up their sleeves. They keep talking about these climate emergencies and these things that they were talking about in 2020, now in 2023 are suddenly happening. It's not happenstance, people. So continue to seek the Most High for wisdom and guidance on how to navigate these times. This is just another data point. Don't use it for, you know, anything definitive and be like, yes, this is happening. Just a data point. It's something that I ran across, but I find it extremely interesting. Let me go to this site, biologicaldiversity.org. When you go, you're going to be like, what is this page? Here it is. Like, it's crazy. And even that page was so, oh no, that's not what I want to go here. Because I was researching their finances for this organization yesterday. I found some stuff too, but it's probably boring for y'all, so y'all don't want to know about it. But again, y'all need to learn how to follow the money. The money will tell you everything you need to know. These sites don't be having nothing on it. You know, you be thinking, oh, it's so innocent. Oh, look at the little rabbit or whatever that thing is. Look at the little owls. Look at the endangered species. Who put this stuff in? Who did this site? You go to see who are the people. So meet the staff. Let's go to the staff. These people are all over the place. Look. Adoma, Adodo, Ado. This person is in Minneapolis, Minnesota. This person is in Tucson, Arizona. This person is in Missoula, Montana. This person is in California. This person is in Oregon. This person is in Oakland, California. This person is in Tucson, Washington, D.C. This person is in Oregon, Oakland, California, St. Petersburg, Florida. You don't even know what this person is. Argue maybe she's deceased. But they got a lot of people. But you know who they don't have? They don't have black people. They got other people. Africans. Denver, Colorado. They got people all over the place. So then you look at the board. And after I finish this, I'm really going to close out. But I just want to show you how these folks be doing. So they got a board. Now you look at the board of directors. And they have no pictures, no nothing. There's no way to look up any financial reports or whatever. But I have a way that I can find the information. So I found it. And that was the site that I pulled up yesterday. But you'll go back 10 years, 12 years and look where this organization just started and they didn't make any money. And now you see these board members, most of them make over $250,000 per year in salary. You don't know where the money is coming from. Like, it's weird. But anyway, this stuff ain't right. I could tell you that. There's something not right. You don't know where the money's coming from. You don't hear anything about these people. But this is the organization that sent this letter to the President of the United States and told him to declare a national climate emergency. Now, with that said, you gotta know this organization is funded by powerful people connected that pretty much must have more power than the President of the United States for them to send this letter to him and demand that he declare a national climate emergency. So, anywho, I'll put a link to this organization's website in the description as well. But y'all better know it's some serious stuff going on, and ain't nothing happening in a vacuum. This stuff has been planned for a long time, and we in trouble. So y'all better be praying and crying out to the Most High because things are looking bad for us. All right, this is Marley K, and I'm out.